hopefully you're listening if you're making beats with loops. I just submitted a dispute through YouTube and it was rejected. I went directly to FUGA and emailed their support.
Well, obviously Erinn has a festival that she's hosting this week, and she needs to pick people up from the airport, and I'm sure a bunch of other stuff.
And I'm sure, Dame, you just have a day full of eating popcorn and kicking your feet up. What's going down is music.
Right, I said he's like the CEO of BeatStars. Like, yo, you manage multiple clients. Like, you're killing it. You're funny.
Killing myself. Anyway, let's get it started. Come on,
we can talk about that. Well, good morning, everyone. It's the Music Entrepreneur Club podcast. I'm thrown off by that whole interaction. Everyone's busy, but life is good, right? I mean,
yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm not going to TikTok like Halsey and complaining about my career choice. But we'll jump into that. Hit him with the intro, Payne. Finish. My bad for cutting you off.
I've forgotten the whole intro. Music business mentorship program, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for tuning in. I don't even think I usually say that much.
This is the MEC podcast hosted by the one and only DJ Payne One and only DJ Payne One, Erinn and myself, Dame Ritter. We join from time to time and drop a few nuggets. But yeah, let's jump into today's podcast. How is everybody doing? Erinn, let people know about the event that's going down. Well, which would have already happened. So it's going to be amazing. You're going to miss it by the time you listen to this podcast, but let people know maybe even for next year, what's going down in Atlanta this weekend.
Hopefully when you're listening to this, I'm getting a massage and resting. I'm believing that right now. So this weekend, so it would have passed, is Holy Smoke Fest. It is the festival that I co-own with my two other business partners. I'm super proud of it. It's our second year. Last year, we sold about 450 tickets total, like day of included. And right now we are about to pass 500 today, which I'm really excited for. We're at a new venue. It reaches capacity at like 700 people. So including staff and everything, we really only have like 60 more tickets to sell for us to be compliant with everything, because we're bringing a camper inside and all that. So I think we may actually sell out. But even if we don't, I'm hyped. Like, we're selling tickets at a premium rate for independent artists in Atlanta. So it's Thursday through Sunday. I would say come out, but you're going to miss it. But Holy Smoke Festival, you just check it out at Holy Smoke Fest on Instagram. You can watch the recaps and be really impressed with what we're doing, because it's amazing.
And
all right, I gotta ask, what is, and Dame too, what is your post-festival / post-tour routine? Because I remember when I was touring, I would just sleep for a week, and that's kind of it. And I don't feel like that's holistic enough.
I honestly feel like I just now can afford to be able to have a routine that's like more than just sleep. But yeah, I have a masseuse now that can come to my house, which is great. So like, she's great. So she comes, and then, drinking lots of water. I try to sleep the first day, and then I try to go on walks with myself the second day, like eat, maybe go see some friends. I try not to talk anything about it. I don't want to do a recap. I don't want to talk about how it went. I don't want to do anything for at least 3 days. And then after that, I'll hit my business partner and we'll learn and talk. And then from there, then I may post realizations and actualizations. And then it all ends with therapy a week later. I'm like, complete the loop. And I'm like, okay, I feel great, whatever. So, or I feel terrible. Here's what I learned from it. But yeah, to me, it's sleep, massage, good food, friends, therapy, and not talking about the experience at all.
So my routine when I would get off of tour is just to get back to my regular routine. Like I'll be excited just to get back to what I normally do. So whether it's hooping on the weekends, working out, eating where I want to eat, like I just am excited to get back to normalcy. So I don't think I've ever done anything special. I just look to get back to my normal day to day. because I like the routine that I'm in.
This is why Dave is the GOAT. He was like, I'm getting back to it.
It's my comfort zone. It's my comfort zone. What was I about to say? Oh, it's a lot of work launching a festival. You know, festivals are big work, and typically, you know, festivals lose money in the prior years. So you really have to plan appropriately to launch a festival. I know when I was running Funk Volume, like, we never really got to get it going, but I wanted to do like an event around Halloween. Like we did a big show at, I think we did it down in Santa Ana at the observatory. I think we had Snow the Product out. So it was more, we built it out more than just our guys. And outside of Snow, I can't remember who else was on that show at the moment. But yeah, I think it's something that people should do if you have like a strong local following, or wherever you have a strong following, to try to build out something that's annual. So you kind of have that annual brand that, you know, generates revenue for you. And when you get to a point when it's, you know, making money, then it's just thinking about how to make it bigger, how to make it better, invite more people to it, add different activations to it. And, you know, you're reaching out to brands that hopefully want to support it. So you have that, you know, just that event that, you know, I know Tyler's event has gone crazy. His, what is it? Some kind of carnival that's here. I know before all the issue with Travis Scott, I know he had something, Astro World, I think, isn't that an annual event? Or maybe it may happen more than annually. It might be like a Rolling Loud situation at this point. But yeah, it's tough. You hear about a lot of issues with like first time festivals, even with the, I heard mixed messages from the Lovers and Friends Festival that just happened in Vegas. I heard, you know, some people had a good time, and then some people like couldn't find water. So it seemed like it was a mixed bag.
I just was around all the couldn't find water stampede people. I didn't hear about anybody having a good experience, unfortunately.
So the young lady that I manage, her name is Persephone. She had I guess a VIP. So it seemed like VIP took all the water because they didn't have any issues getting water or food or anything. She was like, "Oh, it was an amazing experience," things like that. And I go on Twitter, it's like, "Man, we can't even get some damn water." So yeah, festivals are tough to plan for. But you know, it seems like you guys are doing an amazing job at scaling this, and you know, hopefully I can attend next year.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm grateful too. I think a lot of people feel like you got to have a huge artist to throw a festival. And for us, we have a handful of decent sized artists, and we're just charging a premium ticket and really building out the experience. So if this is any encouragement for anybody, you can throw a festival. You don't have to sell 10,000, 5,000, 2,000 tickets. Like we're capping out at 1,800 people across the entire weekend. And it's still a festival because people are paying minimum $60 for the one-day ticket and like up to $200 to be there for the whole weekend.
Dive into that a little bit though. Like, what is building out the experience? What does it mean to go to the Holy Smoke Festival? What are you going to see, or what can you experience?
So I think for us, it really starts with branding, and branding helps inform the theme. So Holy Smoke is the name of the song from the headliners, Indie Tribe. They put out a project last year, and the lead single was called Holy Smoke. And so we ended up charting on Billboard with our project and everything. So we named the festival after that just to keep the momentum going with that. So this year, the theme is where there's smoke, there's fire. And we have a Smokey the Bear theme. So everybody's like in the park ranger type vibe. So one is decor. We're building out the decor. We have a scavenger hunt that people are doing throughout the festival. We are working with an NFT company where you can upload live like logs of live transcripts of what's going on. It's just voice logs, so people can hear what's going on through the festival. We're also live streaming the event for people who aren't there. But yeah, we have a cypher that's happening Friday night. So there's a lot of people coming in town to participate in the cypher, and all of the artists are playing unreleased music. So that's a really cool experience for the fans. We have a basketball tournament that we call the Shootout Classic. Well, it's just one game. And so there's like a lot of trash talk. We're involving some of the fans on the teams. So it's like a coveted role for the artists to be able to play and then choose some of their fans to play. So it's just a full on experience. And then we end with a brunch. So there's a lot of activations, but the whole theme is the whole thing is themed and it's interactive with the artists and then the fans. And there's multiple layers. We have Indie Institute where we're teaching people about the music industry and how to grow in it. So for me, the way that we designed it was, what's the best thing to do for independent artists right now? So for me, it's you give them some education, you give them some fun, you give them the opportunity to perform. The first night we're doing artist feedback sessions. So if you're an artist, you could submit for feedback. So we're just trying to give as much value to the independent community and then really cap it off with the music experience. So it's inspirational and aspirational and educational.
Damn, sounds like we should have got an invite. You didn't even get an invite, huh, Payne? Shady.
Okay, first of all, you said you were going to be speaking in Toronto or something like that. Also,
in June.
Where my budgets are at, we can't afford to fly extra people out. So, but next year, I'm planning on doing a whole MEC panel takeover situation. I want BeatStars to be there next year. So no worries. Like, we're going to integrate this for sure.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. All right, dope. So I think, for people that want to throw festivals, I think it'd be dope to kind of look or attend, what you're building out, because it's more than just, all right, let me invite a few artists out and call it whatever festival. There's a lot more planning that goes into it. And if you're trying to build a festival, you should always be thinking like 3 to 5 years out, like not like, hey, how can I make a killing on this one festival that just started out, but how can I invest in this event to make sure that every year after that is bigger and bigger, because, ultimately that's hopefully where you want to be. But anyway, my topic for today was, I saw there was a bunch of hoopla around a post that Halsey made, and I'm not familiar with any of Halsey's music. I've heard the name. I know she's popular, but I didn't even really know what she looked like until I saw the post. But this was not it's becoming more normal to see more posts like this. And on TikTok, she posted a video that basically her saying, hey, I'm frustrated, I'm upset with my label because my label's not letting me release music until I come up with like a fake viral video or a viral video. I believe she said a fake viral video, but if I can't confirm that, let's just say, that's besides the point, that she needs a viral TikTok moment for her label to okay the release of her next song. And I think a lot of artists that are signed to major labels have had this complaint because of, the success of TikTok, or songs that have originated kind of through TikTok and gained popularity. And I just wanted to get your guys' feedback, your initial kind of impression or opinion on artists that go to TikTok or the artists that go to social media and complain about having to use TikTok in order to get sign off for their music to get released. Payne, how do you just feel about that in general?
I can't imagine that's in her contract. How is that? How do they write that in?
Not specifically TikTok. I mean, I think that the label has say of when music comes out, right? Like you can't, I don't think every major label artist, especially if you're early in your career, which Halsey I don't believe is, but I think there needs to be some joint agreement on. I mean, major labels aren't just going to let artists do what they want to do.
No, they're not. I mean, I've had deals with them before, and it's I guess the language is so vague. It's just a matter of approval, and it's just a matter of putting all the discretion in the hands of the label. But generally, I look at that as the label selecting the right song, not the label relying on the artist to perform some sort of marketing feat, because that's the label's job. The label's job is to perform the marketing feat, and the artist's job is to make the music generally. But I guess that's changing now, and now it's just, I guess that's what we have to, especially at that level, the Halsey level. Labels aren't investing in music; they're investing in brands. And so, as I talk it through, I understand. I don't agree, obviously, but I understand. I feel like they could come up with a better idea than a fake viral TikTok video in 2022, especially for artists at Halsey's caliber.
Well, I think that, well, Erinn, you can respond just to what Payne mentioned there, because I think that's a conversation, right? Like, you know, Payne was like, hey, it's the label's job to market, the artist's job to make the music. That's not, I don't know if that's ever been the case, to be honest. I know it's more shifted to, you know, artists being more hands-on and maybe labels being obviously the financiers and giving direction and strategy. But the artist always has to be a part of the marketing, right? Like, but I know you wanted to talk about that, Erinn.
Well, wait, hold on. Let me just defend what I said, because I'm not saying the label or the artist has no responsibility in marketing, but for the label to put a contingency on the release, I think that's different. Generally, I've never been in a situation where a label said, okay, you need to create and market this specific type of content before we release this song. Usually it's they come up with, you know, the plan, and you don't even have control over the social media. When you're dealing with a major, it just happens.
Well, if that was part of the plan, if they say, hey, this is our plan, a big part of our plan is our TikTok strategy, we need you, and maybe they picture some ideas. And then again, this is just all hypothetical because I don't know exactly what happened, but I would imagine the label said, hey, this is our marketing strategy. A big part of it is TikTok. Can you execute these things? And maybe there was some pushback. There's a lot of creators that just like, look, I'm not doing TikTok. I don't care how successful it is. I'm not doing it because it's corny or whatever reason. And now how do you deal with that situation?
I want to look up her reason. I'm going to look up her reason. It might be valid. I don't know.
I think that she may be oversimplifying specifically what the label said, but that sounds perfectly in line with a label. They may not have been specifically like, you got to get a viral TikTok before we launch the album, but in not so many words, they're saying that, you know, like in more words, they're saying that. So like, yeah, when we were at Def Jam, we thought Def Jam was going to put marketing into Caleb. And so we get there. They're like, we're going to re-release this song. We love it. It's got traction. It's the Jets song of the year. So we had essentially already created some movement on our own. When we walked into the office, we played a song. They sent that song to the right person. The right person heard it and was like, oh, we think that we want to play this for the Jets. So ended up, Def Jam had to scramble to sign us because the Jets wanted to replace the current Def Jam artist that they had with my artist, which was cool. Even with that, Def Jam had nothing. I ended up spending, they were like, well, you should try to go viral on Triller. Here's some Triller influencers, because Triller was big, 3 years ago. So I spent money on Triller influencers. They didn't add any support to that. They're like, you guys should try to gain on Spotify. Here's some Spotify playlisting services. And I was like, what? Like Def Jam? So I was there and thinking this is what I'm supposed to do. So I was playing ball and spending my own money as a manager. And then I realized these people don't know anything. They don't know shit. Like they do, like what? Even their marketing department, when they give you marketing budgets, they're just pouring gasoline on fire. They are not creative people. I don't know, and this is no disrespect to most majors, but unless you have a team that's already moving like that, I've seen it. Like I know artists personally who have been signed to Columbia, RCA, whatever, and they their fan base is rocking with them, but you don't see any exponential growth because the label has no concept of how to market them. So this does not seem far off base for me. I think it seems like a little bit of a oversimplification, kind of like she's having, I don't want to disrespect her. It sounds like she's a little bit upset. So she's making it seem like it's this, I don't know. But yes, labels do this. Labels say you got to have this and that. And I think it's weird, but I know it to be true. I think she's probably thrown off because she probably thought she had way more priority at the label to where she didn't have to succumb to what trends are doing. But labels don't care anymore. They're just lazy. If they see, like Mooney Long and Soulja Boy are getting number ones off of TikTok, they're going to be like, we don't, Lucky Day even, we don't care who you are. We want you to follow at least a similar formula. The thing though is, I just want to say this. I don't think that TikTok has to be formulaic. I think if you're creative, and you have an imagination, you don't have to do goofy videos. You can do whatever that is, we have our podcast on TikTok. People aren't tuned in there, but once people who are looking for snapshots of information like that we give, it's going to take off, so you don't have to it's not a one size fit all. TikTok is like Instagram is like YouTube. When artists understand that, I think they'll stop pushing back. It's just a medium for content. But as it stands, I get it because labels want to say, well, we got to get this viral sound to take off and whatever. But I don't know. I think it's foolish, but labels definitely do this. Labels have my experience with majors, they don't have any creativity, even with indies. No disrespect to the indies, but a lot of times they're leaning heavily on the management team to see what they can do, which is why we formed Build Your Own Dreams the way that we are. We're a marketing and management firm because we're marrying both of them. We're going to get paid accordingly. But yeah, most labels don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
here's something ironic though.
Well, real quick, Payne, you have to take your creative energy as an indie artist and what got you to a certain level into the major label situation. Because the same thing with us, when we signed our deal with Warner, I literally asked them, I was like, hey, what do you guys suggest we do to kind of get to that next level? Literally the first response I got was, you got to spend more money. And then obviously my response back was like, on what? I'm cool spending more money, but give me some specifics on what we should do. And they didn't really have any ideas. So I think you have to go into that major label situation with the same creative energy, and you have to tell them what you need, because I think they can be good at putting fuel behind what you bring to the table. But the original idea is probably not going to start with the major record label. And I see so many artists now winning on TikTok. You have to just figure it out. This is the game we play today. There's an artist named Anise that Abe put me onto, and he has a super viral song. I think it's called Sun and Moon. And then I've been following him ever since. The song has 30 million plays now. And he's been touring off it, doing stuff. Yesterday, I saw him throwing the first pitch at the San Diego Padres game. He's doing crazy stuff. But if you go to see how many videos he posted just to promote Sun and Moon, I'm not joking. There's literally 50 videos. And I see artists that are posting one video, sometimes not even a visual, and expecting things to move. Go to his page and see what, yes, it's a catchy song, and he had a lot of things. I got tired of seeing him post the videos every day of Sun and Moon. I was like, damn it, here goes this song again. But it was super effective, and now he's getting tens of millions of streams. And I'm sure labels are knocking at his door, and he's kind of next up if he has more in the clip. If he has more songs that are just as catchy and he's a dope artist, he's off to the races at this point. But I might even be underestimating, but it was at least 50 videos of the same song on TikTok. And he probably replicated the same thing on Instagram, because I'm assuming he posted the same videos on Instagram. But shit, I got tired of the song, but it was super effective. My bad, Payne. I know you were about to say something when I.
No, I was going to say it's ironic because Halsey is making TikToks to respond to the label pressuring her to make TikToks, and they're going viral. And
maybe this is a marketing thing.
That is what a lot of people responded. Is this the video? Basically.
Right. Because so far, the one that she released was her highest viewed TikTok of all time, I believe, which is almost at 10 million. Yeah, it's it's not the highest. Her highest is 17 million, but it's the second highest. I'm on her profile right now.
So either this is a lemons to lemonade moment where she got on board and was like, I hate this, but I'm going to do this and hopefully it works, or it's the marketing ploy for sure.
Now right. I have my final opinion on this is that she's whack. She's whack because she has 4.6 million followers on TikTok and can't come up with an idea that gets her, to have millions of views on a TikTok. She does it all the time. So what are you complaining about? Every post I'm seeing is at least 1 million or more. So this to me is what are you complaining about? Your work is pretty much already done. Once you have that many followers, it should be easy as shit for you to get a lot of views on every single post. So I am not equating her experience to up and coming independent artists because she has a shitload of followers already. And it should be very easy to come up with an idea. What she should do is just hire a struggling independent artist that is super creative and be like, hey, what should I do to get my page more popping than 4.6 million followers? I'm already tired of her and I'm mad I brought this topic up. Now that I'm looking at her page, I'm done.
So what I read in the article was she said the label wasn't being specific. She said that in response to someone asking her what counts as viral, which I think is the question that we all want to know the answer to, she said the label said, it's like if it doesn't get a certain amount of views or likes or whatever, they'll just keep making me make videos and push it back until they're happy. So granted, I can see a label saying something like that and just being like, yeah, just keep trying it out. Keep trying it out, because labels want a safe bet. They want a sure thing. And as Erinn put it earlier, they don't know shit about social media, because if they did, and maybe that was my own stupidity saying, well, why isn't the label spearheading this? Because they can't. They don't know what to do. So they put it all on the artist, because they figure, well, the artist is the one with the fans, which is valid. The artist is the one with the creative ideas for content, which is also pretty much valid. But I think what's not valid and what I don't like about the labels is the way they communicate. They communicate so indirectly all the time and so vaguely. And I've been in those situations with major labels where I've had a deal and I'm like, all right, let's put this next song out. And they're like, yeah, but we just kind of need something that sounds like a hit. What does that mean?
Well, that's when you have to push them. That you push them for a specific, like you have to take more accountability and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If there's a specific number that I have to hit, tell me what that number is so that we can't keep moving the goalposts. Right.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily have to answer you with a number. They can just
they don't have to, but at least you have that on record. At least you have that exchange and you have that document that, hey, or you suggest the number. Okay, when I hit 1 million on this, we're moving, right? All right, bet we're about to hit 1 million. Like,
because I feel like right now she's at 8.6 million on one and 4.6 million on the other. That's over. That's like 13 million over. And drop the song. Everyone wants it now. I think she did her duty here.
But I think you just have to, when you're in a vague situation like this, you have to put specifics to it and you have to be more accountable for putting together the plan and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then get the sign off, yes or no. And then if you're doing that and you're still not getting a response, then I think, okay, then you have a legitimate gripe, in my opinion.
Well, okay, I think it is legitimate to be at the level of having sold 165 million albums to still have to engage in this kind of communication with the label. I think at a certain point that and again, this goes back to me being naive. I think we've all had varying degrees of involvement with majors, but never on the Halsey level. I always think, okay, when I'm at the Halsey level, I can pretty much just make music and they take cues from me because I'm so influential and they know I'm a cash cow. 165 million sold, that's a lot.
It is, but
it's not enough though.
What more recently though? You know what I'm saying? Like, Fat Joe, well, I don't know. I mean, he's still relevant, but like Ludacris sold a shitload of records. That don't mean nothing to how he moves now. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to be successful in music, he's going to have to adapt to how current music is being promoted. But my message to any major label artist or major labels, tap into these creative independent artists and pay them for what they're doing. Because I'm sure if Halsey contacted a niece, he would be happy because it would help him. It's like, oh shit, he's got like 2 million on TikTok. So he's almost half a Halsey, but he obviously has figured out how to work that platform, do a collab or just have him consult on, okay, this is how I got this song with me. Nobody, no budget. I got it to, I'm about to look to see where it's at. Cause I don't want to disrespect him if I say 20 million and it's at like It's at 28 million now, or almost 29 million. And it was at 20 million like last week. So there are people that are figuring this out. It's everybody that's frustrated. They're just kind of throwing their hands up, being like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. That definitely is not going to get you anywhere. You have to try shit and just look at the people that are winning and figure out how and why it's working for them. And if you see a niece do it with posting 50 videos, I mean, that's a small reason of why his stuff popped off. Obviously, the song is great. His look is different. It's the way he engages the audience. It's a lot more than just posting 50 videos. But if you haven't posted 50 videos, then to me, you're not trying. Because that's the way the game's played today.
I kind of feel like I like her cop out though, making a TikTok about not wanting to do TikToks. Like I like that.
That's old though. I've seen a lot of artists do that. I mean, it works. I mean, the sympathy route works for
but I think she's proving your point, like you said. Like this annoying video of you complaining already has your second most views, as Payne said. So like, why not just do a video? But maybe this is the whole thing. Maybe it's complain about the label. This could be the marketing ploy that they came up with. Maybe that really happened. The first conversation happened. Maybe she was upset, and then her team was like, okay, hey, let's make this a TikTok moment and blow it up. So who knows?
Well, okay, let me add to the frustration potentially, though. Her last album, which came out last year, was a top 10 album. It was Grammy nominated. It included...
A top 10 album of what?
What do you mean of what?
Pop music. She's at the top of pop.
Of the year or of the week?
Well, I mean, Billboard charts are weekly.
Right. So today, that's not that impressive.
Well, that was my point. That's the point.
Well,
so like
Grammy nominated.
Again, that's political. Like the Grammys are political, and top 10 of the week is not that impressive with somebody with this kind of track record.
I'll agree, because we charted top 20 on Billboard for a week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, but
we are nowhere close to Halsey. Y'all ain't even heard of us,
And depending on the week of who came out that week, it could really not be that impressive.
Right? It was because it was Donda week.
Yes.
It was Donda week. So Donda was the number one, and she was number two.
But she was number two. You said?
Yeah, to Donda. But the point is that I'm trying to make is, given that she's reached these accolades for her most recent album, and the label still thinks that's not enough. Holy shit, what a time to be an artist. I mean, this isn't the podcast to go on that discourages artists from working with labels. But this is kind of like the dark side to me, in the sense that no, Dame, when you get to
you're acting like we asked her to build a house. We just asked her to make a TikTok video.
I kind of agree with where Payne's going with this.
Oh,
when you get to this level, when you get to this level and there's still a glass ceiling and it's completely arbitrary, that's frustrating.
No, I'm not rocking with it. All we asked her to do was make a TikTok video.
I hear you saying just make a TikTok, but my thing is, if I've made you millions upon millions of dollars, just let me do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, then sign that agreement. If that's the agreement, then I don't think that's the deal that she signed. If she wants more, if she wants complete control, either go independent or find a record label that allows you to move however you want to move.
But that's
the Drake deal.
The thing is, the goalpost continues to move. Like, there's ambiguity. They say they love this thing. You hit this goal, they're like, we love you. And then you hit another goal, then they're like, we love you. And then you come back and they're like, okay, now hit this goal. And you're like, wait, what? Like, I've been on an upward trajectory. I've watched Halsey. Halsey came out of the like pop punk scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has accelerated year over year over year. I get it. Like, I feel the same way. That's the same way. Same reason Frank Ocean left a label. It's the same reason Kanye's trying to leave a label. It's because if you go high, they want you to go higher. They're like the dad who's never satisfied with you. If you make straight A's, they want straight 100s. And it's like, bitch, can I just be great at this point? And I get it because it's music and it's a business. I get that they're trying to make more. But for me, I feel like if I always have to succumb to what you're asking me for, when she first negotiated her deal, she didn't know these were going to be the terms, that there's always going to be an insurmountable thing that she has to amount to. So for me, I see it. I get it on the business side. But as a person, I would be like, this is shit. Like, I'm over trying to do everything you want me to do because I've given you more than you even expected. I'm one of 10 who wasn't supposed to work out, and I worked out. You made your money back. Let me be great.
I would fall back if I saw her on the trajectory that you say. I believe that there is more competition in the space, and it's competition coming from TikTok. So the label's like, hey, we have to play ball on TikTok. Because they're not making Drake do this. They're not making certain artists that are like super hot and on, like J. Cole's not doing this. Like, there are certain artists, I believe, and again, this is me without looking at the data, so I could be completely wrong, is that Halsey doesn't have the same trajectory as she did a few years ago.
Okay, she is the 48th most streamed human in the world.
Okay, but then you'd have to look at what songs are streaming. Is it the newest ones, or is it the catalog that we've been talking about? In terms of the strength of the catalog, or is it the newer ones?
So artists just have no legacy now. Their legacy doesn't mean shit nowadays.
Not when you're putting out music today. Like, if you sign an artist today, are you gonna let them do whatever they want based on what they did 5 years ago, or are you gonna play in the current environment?
I'm just saying, if you're staying the 48th most streamed person in the world off of your back catalog, I'm not annoyed. Like, the vast majority of the money that we make from my artist, Caleb Mitchell, as label heads is from his back catalog. We're working on pushing for the other stuff, but that just keeps us growing. That's not like the bulk of our streams. So yes, we're pushing him out. Yes, we want him to engage more. Like, we're even heavy on the content now. We're pushing him to do. So I get it, but I'm just saying, like, to what end? Like, she's top 50.
One video. They asked for one video.
Well, they didn't ask for one.
But we don't know that. We don't know if they asked for one video.
They said one viral video.
We don't know the specifics. I think that's what I'm saying. I feel like she has an oversimplification, because if it really is one viral video, then this video serves it. But I'm still saying, to what end? I'm the top 50 most streamed person in the world, and you're still talking to me about fucking TikTok. I would be upset too. I'd be like, I'm way more valuable than fucking TikTok. Like, it'll go off regardless. That's how I would feel. That's because we said that, like, she's got the numbers. It's gonna go off regardless. So if you come to me with the specificity of TikTok, when I'm an artist who's generated this many streams, even if it's back catalog stuff, I don't care if it's from a few years ago, because people in this industry don't last long off of a hot song a few years ago. So if you stayed top 50 off of your back catalog, then let her be great. Like, I feel you, Dame, but I'm like, this is some bullshit. Like,
I'd make the TikTok.
Top 50.
Yeah, if I had the Halsey money, I'm a multimillionaire, I'd make the damn TikTok. However, it is strange to me that labels prevent their artists especially their highly successful artists, from releasing music in 2022, when literally it's just direct to platform. There's not a platform on the planet that wouldn't accentuate, emphasize, and fortify the releases of an artist like Halsey. And everything is just some kind of deal with the platforms. I could see 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when labels actually had to invest in physical product, but I don't understand the mentality of the label preventing an artist from releasing music today. That to me, it doesn't make sense, or it makes sense because now we're talking about it. Otherwise, I never understood why the label is saying, nah, don't release music. Yeah, your fans clearly probably want you to release music. Yeah, your last project was a success. I mean, Grammy, #2 album, whatever. But I don't think you should release any more music. I think we're going to actually prevent you from releasing music, even though it's not really a major expense to us. I mean, we could just let you release music and do what you want to do, and then pour fuel on whatever fires are starting to burn. But they're deciding to just completely put the stop on all Halsey releases. That
another thing we're doing is just taking her side of this and being like, okay, that's the only reason, right? There could be a shitload of reasons why the label is upset with Halsey, right?
Labels do
That's
this,
what
though.
I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think it's just one video. I think she could be oversimplifying it. I agree. I'm not taking her side. I'm just saying if the case is she needs to make one viral TikTok and then to release music, I think that is preposterous. But I also agree we're going off of a snapshot. We don't actually know what the ins and outs of this are.
But even if that's the case, you all with so many resources that she has, all she does is, again, either go to a successful independent artist or hire an agency or hire my guy Schwan, who is a TikTok guru. Like it's such a simple fix, and she would have to do minimal work to get it done. If that's the only thing holding up your album, you can solve this problem in 3 hours. Instead of going to TikTok. That's all I'm saying. If that's the only,
you know, the nature of artists, though. I just say like we haven't even taken into account. I don't think most people understand how insane artists are, especially when you give them money, like, or when you give them clout, not even money. Because, you know, I told y'all about, I had an artist I had to drop last year, and the further I got away from it, the more I realized how insane it was for me to be working with this artist, because nothing ever made sense. So like at the same time, that's what I'm saying. I'm not choosing a side. At the same time, I just feel like artists are, I don't know her situation, but I'm with you, because anything's going to go up at this point. If you had that big of an issue, just go prove them wrong real quick. Go do something and be like, look, it worked on Instagram, or I shot this video and it did this. I don't want to do this. So I'm with you. I think the complaint is ridiculous, but I also reverence the fact that treating artists like commodities, where it's just like, you have to do this because we want this result. I think that is a predatory system that labels are never satisfied. It's not just small artists getting eaten off of, it's major artists getting eaten off of in a predatory way. But I'm with you. Like, just do the video. Like, is it that deep? Like, go back to your $1 million mansion. But I also don't want to invalidate people when they like feel like they are being forced to do something that they don't feel comfortable with.
Well, obviously she's comfortable on TikTok. She has hella videos on TikTok. So it doesn't seem to be like a huge issue.
It's like the summation of your art. If the summation of your art is, it is not valuable if it doesn't go viral on TikTok, inherently, I understand how that would be problematic for somebody who has so much merit.
I don't know if that's what they're like. I wouldn't put it that way. Like, your music,
right? But artists are processing it that way. They're processing, hey, I've done all this for the label, I've killed it, and you keep telling me to do a TikTok. You must feel like my art is invaluable if it doesn't go viral on TikTok. I know that's how she's processing it, which is why it's so offensive to her. I understand that has merit, but I also feel like that's like, you're missing the entire forest for that one little twig right there, though.
Right. Well, for the artists watching this podcast, know that TikTok is, I mean, it's not the only way to make it, but to not use TikTok, to me, is ridiculous, because it could be a valuable tool and help you get to the next step. So if you want to boycott TikTok, good luck. To me, that's like boycotting selling CDs out of the back of your trunk from 20 years ago, right? Or boycotting having to perform at open mics back in the day, or boycotting having to wait outside of record labels until the exec came down to rap in front of them.
Which they did boycott back then.
It feels like people are boycotting YouTube or Instagram. Like, it's like, okay, but it's just what we do now, you know?
Right. So if you got a better way, great, but good luck.
Well, it better be an amazing alternative that really is effective for you.
And I think you have to have a better reason than saying like TikTok's corny, because it's a lot of people using TikTok in what I think are cool ways. Like, you don't have to be a straight up cornball just because you use TikTok. I mean, at this point, hopefully we're past that. There's, millions of users, hundreds of millions of users, if not billions. So I think that's ridiculous. And Payne, I don't know we used the whole hour to talk about this, but we
started like 15 minutes late, so we should be straight.
I won't be straight. I gotta hop off in a little bit.
Okay, I'll be quick. It's not really a conversation. It's just an experience I had and some advice. So back to the content ID system. It's as trash as it's ever been. But it's not just artists abusing the system. It's distributors too, to stay on the label motif. Now, at this point, we have no solutions. We only have workarounds. And usually when content ID claims come up that are invalid, you can dispute the claim and win. But oftentimes, this is the unfortunate part, the distributor will reject your dispute. So distributors have rejected my disputes when my tag will literally be in the beats. That's infuriating. But recently I used a Splice sample in a beat, uploaded it, got a copyright claim. So I disputed it. I let them know I got it from Splice. I let them know the name of the collection and everything. And they said, nope, we disagree. We're taking your monetization money anyway. So this is the point where most producers give up. Not me. So here's what you do. And I shared this advice on TikTok. What do you think the responses were? Don't use samples. This is why I don't use samples. Never mind the masturbatory elitism behind those comments. Let's just talk simple economics. I make loops. I want people to use them. I will never tell people not to use loops. I've gotten placements from using loops. I've gotten plaques from using loops. 3, in fact, 2 gold, 1 platinum from sending loops to other producers. If I had that dumbass, I don't use loops, I'm better than that attitude, I wouldn't be a multi-platinum producer. I wouldn't be networking with talented people. I wouldn't have an additional revenue stream as a sample maker. Sites like Splice create income and opportunity for us and our peers, period. So again, I would never tell you not to use loops or samples, because when you use loops and samples, you're supporting musicians and fellow producers. And anyone who has a problem with that isn't someone worth arguing with. Let them feel good about themselves in the comfort of their own social media wonderland, because they're the only ones who care. However, back to my situation. My dispute gets rejected by, again, it's FUGA. They're one of the more aggressive distributors. And I already have a history of dealing with them, but never over a loop or a sample. So the same information, this is why hopefully you're listening. If you're making beats with loops, hopefully you're listening to this. I just submitted a dispute through YouTube and it was rejected. I went directly to FUGA and emailed their support email, because I have it on file, because I've had to do this before for beats that were monetized, my own beats that were monetized. I emailed them the same information, the same explanation of why the why the claim was invalid, the same information about the sample collection that I got the sample from, its royalty-free license, the fact that I got it from Splice, the name of the sample, an explanation of how the claimant used the sample in a similar way as myself. Within 12 hours, I get a response. And the claim is removed within 12 hours. But I'm so stubborn that I went through that extra step. I don't think the average person is going to go through that extra step. I think they're going to give up. They may even give up when they get the claim. They might not even attempt to initially dispute the claim via YouTube. But YouTube isn't the end of it all. And we just have to start taking that extra step. It's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. We're not the ones violating the end user agreement. We're not the ones violating federal copyright law. We're not the ones inconveniencing people. Someone's doing that to us. And they're emboldened by the distributors and the content ID system that basically believes anybody who makes that initial claim. But if we want some kind of change, and I want systems change, I'm not just going to sit around and complain about it. I'm going to find the workarounds, and hopefully the workarounds will eventually chip away at the system until it realizes that the system itself needs to either be changed in a really drastic way or completely thrown away and rebuilt, because it does. So I encourage everyone to dispute claims. If the dispute is rejected, find out the distributor's website and just harass them until they do the right thing. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. If they're not even getting inconvenienced by you pushing back, it's not even going to be on their radar that there's a problem.
Find the workaround. That's good. I love that, because it's not going to change until we do.
That's my public service announcement of the day. I don't know if there's a response to that. It just is what it is.
No, I mean, I don't have anything to add, really. Yeah, that's Payne's content ID public service announcement of the day.
And clearly, the problem is using loops, and let's complain about Splice, right? That's what we do.
Everybody just wants to complain. Like complain is just people's default when they can't figure shit out.
It's a TikTok thing. I feel like, remember when we would post content on our Instagram and we're like, damn, why are so many of the responses so reactive and misinformed? I feel like all those people, like the worst of the worst commenters, all moved to TikTok.
I think it's a social media thing. It's a frustration thing. Again, there's not that many people that are, most people aren't successful in music. So when they can't figure shit out, it's pointing fingers everywhere else but themselves. And then you have a niece that's going to make 50, 60 videos for one song. So it's just what kind of accountability are you gonna hold? And people are gonna sit on both sides of the fence. More people are gonna sit on the complain lazy side though than the get up and take action side. So
right, yeah.
What can you do?
And just not offering solutions to problems.
Right. Anyway,
appreciate you tuning in. Everybody, just visualize Erinn getting a deep tissue massage. Maybe don't. That could be creepy. Just visualize her in a relaxed state.
It got weird fast.
Yeah, I'm visualizing myself getting one now. They feel amazing, and visualize Dame doing.
I don't even like massages. Really? I've only had a few, but like I don't get, like, for me, I know I've had massages more so for like injuries than they don't feel. Maybe I just haven't had the right masseuse.
They feel good after.
You gotta get an intuitive one, because I've gone to like a lot of like, whatever massages, but when you get a good one who like is in tune with your body, it's like mind blowing. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had that yet. Most of them have felt awkward, and I was like, this is uncomfortable.
I gotta get you a good massage, because I'm telling you, it's life changing when you have a good one.
All right, cool. Massages for everybody at next year's Holy Smoke Festival.
Yep.
Massage booth.
I'm looking forward to it.
Self-care booth.
Shout out to Holy Smoke 2023, and see you there. But appreciate you tuning in to the MEC podcast. I'm live. My new date is Tuesdays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a collaborative session. If you're a producer, you're definitely going to want to check that out. All you have to do is text MEC to a number and get alerted every time. I will personally text you every time I go live. So, Dame, what's that number?
All you need to do is text MEC to 844-206-7800. You'll get an alert before Payne goes live. Payne Show is part of BeatStars' 5 new shows that they're launching in partnership with Twitch in the very near future. Payne will be hosting one of the shows, and the other shows are like rap battles, Buy My Beats Friday. There's a lot of very interactive and engaging shows, programming that we're launching. I believe in June, which would be next week.
Yep.
But yeah, so stay tuned. Text that number. Keep rocking with us.
Till next time. Peace.
Peace.